G'day guys, Mr. Oz Adventure here, coming at you today with another tale of travel and adventure from my 2019 Victoria road trip. Following on from my last video where I was exploring Melbourne and the Mornington Peninsula where I grew up, it was time to leave Melbourne where I caught up with family and friends and start the trip back north. After spending a night in Carramburra with a mate, it was time to head across Gippsland and across the mountains to Bright in the high country of Victoria, where I was going to meet up with everyone else from AuStrom, the Australian V-Strom owners group on Facebook. We had a big meet-up planned there, and I had some glorious roads to ride in order to get there. My first destination along the way was Lake Glenmaggie in central north Gippsland, I guess. So I didn't want to take the main roads there, didn't want to spend too much time on the highway, so I left the highway and just plugged into Google Maps which way to go. Well, yeah, I don't know where I am. I'm trying to take a shortcut across through the back roads to a friend's place on the way to Mount Hotham and over to Bright today. Google Maps took me out in the back roads. I thought that's fine, I might get some dirt along the way, that's all good. But then it told me to turn left into the bush, and there's no roads into the bush there. So I don't know where I am, I don't know where this road goes. I guess I'm just going to have an adventure, but yeah, that's going to make me a little bit late. Finally I made my way to Lake Glenmaggie, which was very, very low. 2019 saw extreme drought throughout the country, and this part of Australia was no different. Everything was dry and very hot throughout this area, and less than a year later there can be fires everywhere throughout the region. After another great catch up with a mate for an hour or so, just checking out his property and seeing what he'd done since my last visit 10 years or so ago, it was heading back towards Bairnsdale, where I was going to be heading north over the mountains. Man, it was so hot through Gippsland. It was unbelievably warm. I was just sweating buckets and couldn't wait to get up into the mountains, into that twisty mountain, cool fresh air, just to hit some good roads and have a drop in temperature. Just north of Bairnsdale is a little town called Brewton. Brewton is the start of an epic motorcycling journey right across the mountains on the Great Alpine Road. I headed inland from here, northwards through Omeo, following rivers and just corner after corner of just absolutely glorious road up into the mountains. This was an absolutely stunning ride. I just love it. It had been years since I'd done it, and just enjoyed every minute as I rose up into the mountains, eventually coming to the little village of Dinner Plain, which was mostly abandoned because it's a ski village and it was not the ski season. Oh right, oh wow, I am currently in the ski resort of Dinner Plain, just down the road from Mount Hotham. Oh, so many twisting roads to get up here. Vastly different weather to down the whole day. The whole day was just stinking hot. Near Bairnsdale it must have been 35 degrees, I reckon. It was so hot. It was some of the hottest riding I've felt. I've ridden in 40 degrees before, and it felt pretty similar to that. But up here it's maybe low 20s, and it's been raining. So haven't seen rain for days. Haven't seen rain for about a week since I left Sydney. And yeah, it's wet roads, bit of rain. Nice and refreshing. After a brief little toilet stop at Dinner Plain, it was on to Mount Hotham, an area that I know well from the past. I used to go snowboarding there back in the 90s and stayed there quite a few times. Such an awesome part of the world. I've ridden through there once before back in 2013 on my trip to Melbourne, and it was great to be back up there on a bike again. Absolutely stunning part of the world. I love it. Such good riding. Amazing scenery. One of the highest places in Australia you can ride a motorbike. After a brief little stop at Mount Hotham, it was time to descend back into the Ovens Valley, which is absolutely stunning. Made my descent down the mountain, through the valley and into Bright, where I was going to catch up with everyone from the V-Strom group and camp for a few days of adventure, socialising, lots of socialising. Bright is a small town, but is always packed with tourists. It is a place that is very popular. Doesn't matter what time of the season it is always popular with tourists. Very popular in summer, very popular in autumn with the changing of the leaves. All the deciduous trees turn brown, just created just a different colour throughout the whole town. And in winter, obviously, for the ski resorts that surround the whole area, Bright is a hot spot of activity for snow sports. But we were here to camp, ride motorcycles and drink and be merry. And that's what we did. So stay tuned for the next few videos, because it's going to be absolutely epic as we explore the Victorian high country and do a big group ride through the dirt with the V-Strom guys. Cheers guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this little one, and I'll see you on the next one. What an amazing place to see the sunrise. It was a nice ride up here in the dark. Tight and twisty road coming up here. All the way through these hills, just hairpin after hairpin in the dark. A few kangaroos on the road.